Hi everybody, welcome back to Day Trip Vintage Company. This is Julie and this is officially episode number 3 of organizing all of my crafting supplies. So last week we did the top 2 drawers of this dresser. Today we are working on the dreaded lace trim ribbon drawer. I really had to tug at it to get it open. I have some bins up at the top at the ready for sorting. I also wanted to share the most fabulous idea that came from my friend Kathy Wiseman. In fact, I have pinned it at the top of the last video. Her comment is up at the top. If you'll remember, this is one of the baskets that we filled last week because there were some ribbons in this top left-hand drawer. And Kathy had the most fabulous suggestion of taking these loose ribbons and taking some of the ribbons off the rolls, rolling them up and holding them together with a paper clip. So let me see if I can dump these out real quick. So if you remember, this Ziploc bag right here was full of ribbon. It was just all tangled. It was all inside. And so this morning I took all the ribbon out of there. I rolled it, looped it around. Some of the ribbon I did put a paper clip, and then some of them I found that they were a little bit too thick, but I had these fun little, I guess, wired ties that were left over from some gift bags, but they really came in handy for this. So I grabbed those for the thicker rolls of ribbon. And I have to say, this is, I think, going to be a game changer for me. Here are all the rolls that I emptied. So some of the ribbon came from that plastic bag, and then some were on these rolls, and I am going to grab these and throw them into the recycle bin that is behind me here. I'm just going to get rid of them. And as you can see, these little bundles here take up much less space than all the rolls would. So we probably had about equivalent of that. Now these I didn't take off the rolls. Some are not opened. Some have almost, maybe I didn't even use any. Maybe I just used a little bit. So for now I'm leaving these on the rolls, and I'm going to add these into this bin. This is going to become, I think, grosgrain ribbon bin. I don't know. As we start to pull trims and things out, we'll kind of decide on how we're going to sort everything. These, if you'll remember, in here we have felt ribbon and some miscellaneous Christmas. Here's a little bit of that kind of cotton that I love to use. I think I just have a little piece of that left. That's great for binding journal covers together, front and back. But if you remember, that was super full. It was mounded up. So we took that big mound and created these great little bundles. So I just have a couple bins up here. I think will come in handy. This one I think will become all the laces. I have some seam binding in here in this one. And then this is a brand new roll of rickrack. So I think this will just become our rickrack bin here. And I also wanted to share this. I've shared this on my channel before. I think I even posted pictures on Instagram. But this is one of my vintage or antique receipt holders. And these work so great for holding ribbons on the top of my craft desk. So I just wanted to share that. I'll take these off. I'm not currently using those ribbons. And then I'll give you a little sneak peek of those top 2 drawers just really quick, because we will put that receipt holder back in this drawer. Okay, I'm going to stick that in there. I've added a couple more things to this drawer. I found this in my cart. This is just a brass sort of picture holder, but this is great for sitting, you know, plates, books, that kind of thing. As far as a photography prop, I added that. And then I have a little kind of plastic Christmas tree that I use often when I'm taking photographs of Christmas items. So that fit in there very nicely. And yeah, this drawer is working really well so far. So let's look at the other drawer really quick. Okay, so here's this upper right hand drawer. Oh, look at. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at. How did that even happen? Okay, there's some more blocks in there. I'm gonna leave those in there. I'm not gonna pull those out right now. Oh my goodness. So we didn't pull out all the blocks last week. So I'll have to circle back around and do that. That's super funny because I was even standing here and folding all of this fabric. So this fabric was sitting on top of the dresser, but I wanted to get it out of the way. This is just temporary. The fabric won't stay here permanently, but I just folded it a little bit nicer and stuck it in the drawer just as a holding place. All my fabric, if you remember, is in the bottom drawer of this dresser, and we will get to that next week. So how funny. That's so crazy. Okay, so I rearranged things a little bit differently just so we had a little bit less visual clutter in the camera screen, and I'm just going to start pulling things out. At one point, I attempted to sort things with, like with like. This looks like it's a Ziploc with vintage laces, kind of in creams, I think. There's a little peachy one. So I'm not going to get into each bag and sort. For now, I'm just going to grab the bags and put them in a bin that's like with like. So I'm going to stick that one there with the laces. This one right here is, oh, actually I have a little bit of sorry ribbon, but I think I'll keep that in as well. This is beautiful vintage seam binding. I see I have a little bit of lace, but again, I'm not going to spend too much time. Here's my seam binding bin. Here is a bag that I can't even close that has rickrack in it. So I'm actually going to quickly take all of this out. Maybe it'll take up less room in the bin. That's all. This is not all my rickrack, but it is a lot of it. Okay, look at that. Have you guys ever seen rickrack like this? Look how big it is. I don't even know where this came from, maybe an estate sale, fine, but look at that. I have yet to use this, I think, in a journal, but wouldn't that be great on the spine, like the outside spine of a journal? I think it would be so cute. And one of my very favorite, well, I never met a piece of rickrack that I didn't love, but I love this little tiny mini rickrack too. I'm always on the hunt for that. Now, this is a big mishmash. I see lace. I even see some grosgrain ribbon that needs to eventually go in there. Oh, here's more of that cool sort of cotton binding in there maybe. I don't know about this. I'm going to leave that one there for a minute, I think. Here is sort of Christmassy trim. I love using this for assemblage making. I think I'll stick it in this basket for now. And I'm not going to stop and put pins, right? We talked about putting pins in. I'm not going to stop and do that either. We're just doing a quick sort. So this will go in with all that gingham check. Here's more of that glittery kind of tinsel silver ribbon. This is a bag that's a big gnarled mess of rickrack. I'm just going to throw that in there. This is like, who even knows what we'll find. See, I have all these just loose. Here's a little tiny snippet of that. Now, this, I'm not sure. I know we're going to come across ribbon that is maybe a question mark. I'm wondering if I should, I'm thinking out loud to myself, if I should, I have a bag down here for donations. This is crazy here. So I don't know, this wouldn't be a trim that I would probably grab for and use. I don't know. Let's keep a little pile there. You guys are probably all screaming. This is a lace. We'll put that in there. Look at this. Okay, we have some fluff there. Isn't this beautiful? It's on a very old spool. Oh, I didn't make a bin. What's the, okay, we're not using this. I think this bin, I'll put these sort of laces that are on the cards. I think they're probably All Rights brand. I think for now we'll stick those in there. All right, so these definitely do not belong. I'm gonna throw that fuzz in the trash. I don't even know where I got this. This is all button cards. Wow. This is a treasure. Look at this one. In fact, I know I've actually searched online looking for buttons like this on these really cool cards. So I didn't even know I had this. That's terrible to have cool stuff like this in a drawer and not know that I have it. I'm going to go just take a quick second and run this over to the other side of the room. I have buttons in that antique cabinet, that icebox cabinet, and I also have them in the big cabinet right next to my desk, but I think I'm going to put them in the icebox temporarily because we're still doing like with like. And the reason why I did that, just as a reminder too, part of the reason why I procrastinated on this project is I didn't want to create a big explosion here in my craft area that would prevent me from getting projects done. I'm always on quite a timeline, craft and chats every week for our Thursdays together. So I didn't want to create a big mess and just have to look at it for weeks on end. So I think if I have room somewhere and something matches something elsewhere, like with like, I'm just going to take a few quick minutes, run it over, and then start back with sorting. That makes sense to me. This is kind of a grosgrain style. And I think what I might do is just speed up and then I'll come in and talk occasionally. So I am running across categories. I think I'll keep that big basket in the right-hand corner there. Like this is sequined trim. I really don't know how much I have of this, so I'm gonna stick it up in that basket. Okay, same as this. So this is my writing, $1. So I must have paid $1 for this. I don't know if it was a thrift store, if it was something I bought online. This has a lot of sequin stuff, so I'm just gonna stick it in there. Look at this, beautiful. Now, I know exactly where this came from. This beautiful trim came from my friend Joni. Her Etsy store is Vintagerous. She also has a YouTube channel, but isn't that gorgeous? And I've sort of been hoarding it. I haven't found just the right way to use it, but that is gorgeous. I'm not sure what category. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is all lace. I must have categorized that by color. Oh, now see, I didn't even know I had this. And I'm always looking for embroidery thread to sew my journals together. So that's a fun find. I'm not sure what category that goes into. Here's some tulle. I'm actually going to stick behind me. I use tulle when I package up my Etsy orders. I put a bit of tulle and a little handmade gift tag on all my outgoing packages. So I'm just gonna stick this on the table behind me. That does have a spot, but maybe we'll find some more of that. This is, I don't know, see, some of this doesn't necessarily have a category. Here's some more of that felt. Well, maybe I'll put this type of trim up in that basket. Is this elastic? no, not elastic. I'm looking, oh, this is twine. So I'm gonna put that here because I think maybe I might use that. Okay, so this is sort of its own category, which is pom-pom trim. Maybe as I run across more, I'll stick it in this bag. These are the only containers I have. In fact, we ran across this, I would consider pom-pom trim. Maybe I'll just take a second and put that in there. Oh, now look at that. I know I bought this from somebody and I apologize if I can't remember, but look at that. This is all yummy, yummy, yummy vintage seam binding. It's that really beautiful, lovely seam binding that we are always on the hunt for. And look at the packaging. Now that's so beautiful. I could see myself also displaying that at some point in my craft area. That is seam binding. Okay, here is the culprit with the fluff. I think fluff I'll stick behind me as well. I'm kind of sticking things up here too. I don't know, just because I'm trying to do this pretty quick. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness, is that gorgeous? Rayon seam binding, 100 yards. Lawrence Schiff Silk Mills. Again, such gorgeous packaging. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, that goes in there. Oh, this is beautiful too. Look at that lace. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, that's beautiful. I would consider that a major treasure. I didn't know I had that in here. That's beautiful. I definitely want to craft with that right away. And then these are bias tape. So I do have I know we're going to get to more bias tape. Maybe I'll just stick it here for now. Do you all use bias tape? I haven't really used it much as of yet. But if you all use it regularly, definitely share with me. Here's more seam binding on how you use it in your crafting, your journal making, your paper crafting. This is midi braid. I don't know where that would go. Let's see, let's put this sort of sequin trim. Let's stick that in there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here is the mother load. Look at this really old grade. Isn't that beautiful? That's a gorgeous color. All right, I see I'm piling things here because I don't know what to do with them. I think I will grab, these are all kind of silky, I don't know, like kind of nylon-y polyester, maybe shiny and sparkly. Not necessarily things that I would necessarily probably grab often. Oh, that's pretty. This is new, but that's a gorgeous color of rickrack. I love that I'm finding all this seam binding. I use it sparingly because I always think, oh, I don't have a lot of it, but clearly I'm finding this is iron-on hem tape. It has kind of a seam binding feel. It's soft and silky. I think I'm going to stick that there. These little odds and ends. This is like a satiny, again, not something that I grab for often, but I'll stick it in there. Maybe this as well. It's nice that's up against the corner there, so we can kind of stack. I think it's quite full. All right, so this I was glad to get too. So I knew I had some more of this sort of cotton, is it cotton? Sort of this fabric looking ribbon. This, I think, came from Gabby. Are you guys, do you notice a running theme? I'll have to message her. I know this came from her. She gave me, I don't even know where she got it, and I had shared it with some friends as well. And I know they were super happy to have. In fact, one friend was making fidget blankets, I think maybe for people in skilled nursing, you know, memory care situations. So I know she was super happy to have that. I think the other is in there, but I'm going to stick it in with the grow grain right now. I think there's going to be quite a bit in that corner bin that I won't end up keeping. So like this is super cool. This is kind of a plastic, which that isn't the cool part of it, but the vintage, the graphics are pretty cool. I don't know, that's a little bit of a miscellaneous. We'll stick that in there. Ooh, this is beautiful. So this is kind of a satin or silk. Not sure where this may have been a gift from somebody, maybe from Joni. I think I'll stick that up in here for now. What was this? This is sort of a satin ribbon. I'll put that there as well. These are sort of threads, things that maybe I would use in sewing, you know, signatures in. Ooh, this is what I was looking for. I'm actually going to take this off. I was looking for some elastic trim, so I'm going to stick that there. I need that right away this week. I guess that's like a satin. Just a random. What is this? Sort of a flocked. Not sure. Stick that in that corner. What was this? Is this seam binding? Water repellent. I think this was from my mom. Maybe. It's like for making, it's water repellent. I think you would use it in making floral arrangements. I don't know, it's kind of cool. The graphics on that are really cool. I don't know, that's kind of like, I don't know. This would go in the little jar that sits on my craft desk. This, I don't know. I'm gonna put miscellaneous. And this was braid. Okay. Focus, Julie, focus. This may work for the project too that I had in mind. I'm gonna stick that there. And I'm making a little pile of these little cardboard pieces that came out of the Wrights trim because maybe we can reuse those. All right, so look at this. I think I picked this up at a flea market, fairly certain, our little local flea market in Torrance. I guess we're gonna stick that in there. Now, this shouldn't even be in here. These are little pieces, like offcuts of felt. So this is really fabric. So I think I'm gonna stick this in this drawer with the fabric for the time being because that's just temporary. These are little offcut vintage pieces of tulle. I had taken something apart and I kept these little pieces because I thought they were super aged and cool looking. I don't know where those should go. I'm gonna stick those there for now. And then now we have come to this bin. So When I first started collecting vintage trims and things, I had attempted to organize them all. It might even be by color. I don't know if it's by style. But as I started collecting more, this whole drawer just became overrun. Here's some more seam binding. Whoops, there was a pen. But the thing I found with this was, I think it was so chocked full. I had a difficult time pulling things out and finding what I needed. Maybe too, because it was a combination of every trim that I had. Could have been that as well. I picked up these bins at Dollar Tree specifically for this drawer. So as we go through this process of sorting more, I'll have to decide if this is good, this type of bin system. So we will address that. So I think I'm going to stick this back down in here and see if I can sort it a little bit more. I'm also seeing right away packages of zippers. So I know I wasn't actively buying zippers. I think I just ended up with these because they, you know, were in grab bags and things that I picked up at the flea market. I was probably after the rickrack, the seam binding, that kind of thing. And then these just kind of came along with it all. For sure, these will be donated, or I probably have a friend that maybe would love these and to use these. So I think right away, just so they're not super cluttery, I'm going to stick these down in a bag. Let's see if I could do this. I'm going to save my back a little bit. For those people that are tall, you'll know what I mean. Bending over when you're tall at that really awkward height is not fun. So this card right here actually has both. It has seam binding and lace, but I'll stick that with the lace for now. Oh, here's more braid. This is really wide of this, what do we call this? How come that word just keeps leaving my brain? Bias tape. Never can remember that. See, because I don't use it. One would ask, why do I have so much of this? Is this, okay, so this is kind of, I have like 3 packages of braid right here. I'm gonna put that with that. Oh, okay, so look at this. So maybe some of this silky ribbon that I'm finding, this is called blanket binding. So this may be the same thing. I don't know. Oh yes, it totally is. Look, it's folded over like that. Isn't that beautiful? Look how aged it is. I love that. I love, love, love. We work really hard to try to recreate that aged look on textiles. So I bet that's what that is. I'm gonna leave it up here in the basket. This one, maybe I'll just stick down here because it's in a little package. Here's like multiple things. I think I'll put it there for now. Look at this. This is new. Okay, so we haven't come across this fold over braid. It's kind of a polyester in this really cute lemon color. It says for fashion apparel and home furnishings. Oh my gosh, that's retro fun. I'll stick that there. Oh, this is fun. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know I had that. Look at that. So it's a material, what are they calling it? Fashion in mind, fiber content of undetermined origin. This came from Walmart, 44 cents originally. So it is like a fabric trim. It looks like maybe it would have been for, it looks like it has little baby animals. So it has little lions, elephants, I don't know what the blue, oh, maybe some little bunnies. How cute. Giraffes. So cute. And then it has this little eyelet trim on it. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's adorable. I'm definitely using that. Oh, here's some more of this fun lemon trim. So I think this bin right here, once we clean it out, we will make this the bias trim. Piping. I don't think we've come across piping. Some more of that sort of big wide bias tape. We'll have to figure out something fun because we definitely have a lot of bias tape here. Some of this I have to feel. And I have come across kind of silky seam binding or bias tape, but oh my gosh, look at this one. Oh, how crazy. Look at that day glow pink. How fun is that? That would be great in a really retro kind of 70s journal. Oh my gosh, that's fun. Here's more of that blanket trim, which we now know it to be. I'm still sticking it in there just because most of it is in there. I have decorated with these packaging too. I have specifically bought like, you know, patriotic or like 4th of July kind of looking packaging and used it in my displays as well. So it's kind of multi-purpose. Oh, here's some more of that fun piping. Oh, now look at that. That is the most beautiful, what are they calling it? Aqua. The most beautiful tone of seam binding in aqua. That's beautiful. This would probably be a close second to any sort of, oh, look at this. Where did that one go? I just stuck it in here. No, it wasn't that one. Look at this one. What color are they calling this? I don't see a color, but that's gorgeous. Oh, beautiful. Now, I don't need to be hoarding the seam binding anymore because clearly, do I want that? No, I don't think I want that for a project I'm working on. All right, I just kind of dumped that out in the trash. So let's put all this bias tape and then kind of assess where we're at. I think what I'll do is I'll put this sort of one off, this like different braid and whatnot. Like there's a little bit of elastic. I'm just going to stick it in here. Like here's some loop braid, although that probably should go here. Maybe I'm going to put that with there. I don't know that that was the right call. Here's some midi braid. So I think I'll stick that down in there. Okay, so here comes the difficult part. I guess you never know what you're going to run across until you start, you know, cleaning out your drawers and things. Obviously, we knew mostly what the contents were. So not any huge surprises. We've already made the decision to let all the zippers go. I know somebody else that would probably love to have those. I will check with them. Somebody that sews much more than I do. Okay, so I'm sort of thinking out loud. Obviously, a lot of these bins are overflowing. I know some categories that I will not get rid of, donate, and rehome. It's hard to find. I don't find, especially that color, I don't often find a lot of rickrack. So the things that I would still be a buyer of, clearly I have a lot here. I probably have more than I could possibly craft with. I'm not a big buyer of new ribbons unless it's, I use gingham a lot. Gingham is kind of a go-to for me for a lot of things, especially little golden book journals. So this would be something, once I use this pink, I would definitely replace it. But if I come across vintage laces, any of the rickrack, that type of thing, obviously, most definitely seam binding. I'm always a buyer of that. Lace, it depends on the color. There's certain colors that I'm drawn to more than others. So let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of these bins back in this drawer. The other thought process that I had with all of this is I would like the trims and laces, that type of thing, to be closer to the craft desk rather than be over here. I'm kind of up and down and I'm grabbing out of this drawer a lot, but I think I'd rather have it be a little bit closer. So maybe let's start putting some of the bins in here of things for sure we know we're most definitely keeping and will be using. And then we can kind of assess these other categories. This we just have to neaten up, but I don't think I will be downsizing. What's that? Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna downsize my small laces here. I use these all the time. They're great as toppers for tags and, you know, glued on the inside of journals. So these I use frequently, probably weekly. So for sure, I'm keeping all of those. For sure, I'm keeping all of the rickrack. Again, this is something that I grab for often and use. This is overflowing, so we need to organize this a little bit better, but for now, I'm sticking it down in the drawer. It's not going anywhere. I can still close the drawer. Pom-pom trim, I'm gonna throw this piece of cardboard away. Pom-pom trim, same thing. I don't have a lot of it, but I do use it. I've probably used every single one in here. I don't think I've used the yellow yet, but all of these spools are already open and being used. So I'm gonna stick that down in here. Now we are to the seam binding. This is a little bit of an obsession with me. I need to not hoard it as much. I need to use it more, but I will be keeping all of the seam binding. I think what I'm gonna do is take the ribbons out of this container here and move these over to this one. Okay, I think that's better. Same thing, I'm gonna stick that down in this drawer. And I know that it will still close. I think the grosgrain will fit here okay for now. All right, this isn't really grosgrain ribbon, so maybe we'll do a little stack of that for now. This ribbon is still, so you notice I'm like pushing things around. Okay, these things we'll probably reuse and maybe wrap some loose ribbons around these. So these I want to keep. These I am going to take over to my craft desk right now. These little scraps will go right into my ribbon jar, my trim jar that you've all seen that I keep on my craft desk. And then these braids, I do need to use these in a project that I'm currently working on for this coming Thursday. So these I'm going to walk over to my desk, and also this embroidery thread too, because I have some more over on that side of the room. Oh, I discovered this little basket behind me, so I think I'll just put this type of ribbon in it for now. These are sort of one-offs. I'm not sure what I will do with those. This is so gorgeous. So, and then this was that multi-bag that has laces and trims and things. So right off the bat, this bin needs additional sorting, this bag, and we definitely need to go through this basket here in the quarter. Right off the bat, there's some trims in here that I will probably reach out to see if some friends want them, possibly donate them. And then obviously take these different totes and categories and figure out boxes or receptacles, how we are going to organize those to move over to the other. So I'm just thinking out loud. What do I want to do? Does this fit down in here? Not really. That bin doesn't fit. Okay. So we're gonna leave out the grosgrain. We're gonna leave out this ribbon. You know what I might even do? Now I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this is driving you all crazy. This is a lot. This is like super overwhelming to me because it is a lot of stuff. Maybe what I'll do, I'm just thinking out loud, I might do a live because also some of these trims I'd like to wind around some of these cardboard inserts here. Maybe I want to do like this great idea that Kathy had, which I am loving. So maybe let's do it that way. This is what we're leaving off to sort with. Maybe I will take a little bit of a vote. How about you guys leave a comment and give me suggestions on how you would like to see me sort. Would you guys like to do a live and just see me sort through and kind of work through that process of taking all of this and making it more compact, deciding what I will regift, what I will donate? Let me know. Leave me a comment. If I don't get enough comments, maybe I'll do a little poll on my community tab on YouTube. I think we did pretty well. I'm very happy and I appreciate you all. I know I've had some people that have said that they are jumping on board. They watching, organizing while they're watching me organize, which I think is so fun. So I love that. I love all the amazing, wonderful, sweet comments people have left. And it makes this process maybe a little bit easier because it is rather overwhelming. That's why we procrastinate. That's why I have put this off and I haven't wanted to do. I've probably procrastinated and put this off for several years. So I'm glad that we are finally tackling it together. Okay, friends, I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next video, and we will do a little bit of decision making on all of this in the meantime. All right, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.